You're good.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. This is Donna Johnson, and I'm here in Sweden. And don't you just love network marketing in our global mobile business? Joining me is Dr. Sven Goebel from Switzerland. And so we are on the same time zone, but as a board member of the Association for Network Marketing Professionals, ANMP, I know that we have wanted to get Sven to speak at our convention, and it hasn't worked out. And last month, Thomas and I spoke at the Direct Sales European Congress in Amsterdam. And this really wasn't fair because Dr. Sven Goebel was actually the first speaker, and it just blew us away. And the reason his presentation was so meaningful was because, to me, it was high octane for the profession globally, for owners, for executives, and especially for field leaders, and all of us working in harmony together to grow our businesses and to grow our profession. And afterwards, I was taking notes fearlessly, and I asked Ted if it was recorded. I asked Ben if it was recorded. And you know what? I just said, well, we're going to take this into our own hands and get this recorded because we need to share this message. Many of you are familiar with Dr. Sven Goebel. He has been in our profession as a top distributor for over 25 years. He and I are both featured in John Fogg's book, 21 Greatest Networkers, and so that was fun. And of course, he's in several other books and publications. He's involved in a really cool happiness project, and he's currently actually CEO of his own network marketing company, which is really awesome. So congratulations, Sven. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn it over to you because you're going to share a screen. And what Sven is going to do is actually share his PowerPoint from Amsterdam with all of you. So thank you so much for joining us, Sven.
Amazing. Thanks for that amazing introduction, Donna. It's a true pleasure. It was great to be together at the European Congress in Amsterdam to meet your fantastic husband, Thomas, and yourself. It was just real fun. We've met a few occasions around the world. This is how networkers work together. And you know what I like to express is that although we work in different countries, we work in different companies, it is always good to join forces and let people know what the benefits of that great profession are. I think this is top, and I'm very happy to participate. And hopefully this video gets seen from a lot of people around the world. So let me try to share the screen here for you and for the people who watch us. And I'm really happy to give a little bit of an insight of what I have been talking about in Amsterdam. It should work right like this. And you, Donna, you need to tell me whether you see my screen.
You're good. You are a pro. You've got it.
Absolutely. We are there. And the subject was, which was the hardest thing of all, you know, to find the right title story of that, how to fully leverage your MLM ecosystem. And, you know, I brought a few of my insights over the past years into that presentation, because many of you know that our industry has massively changed, and also the way we work in this industry has changed, especially through communication, social media, no borderlines, transparency, everything is very visible. Things have to be different. Things have to be happen on a different level, and this affects the way we work. So I just felt, well, to give the best value to the people on this conference is to give them a little bit to think about what insights I gathered, because we've been transforming a huge organization into something very positive in using these paradigm shifts that we have worked on. And I wanted to give that value over to all the audience. So I'm going to share a little bit about these paradigm shifts. I'm going to give you a little bit of introduction of what we are currently working on when it comes to our happiness project, which is very important. And what you're going to see, hopefully, after this call is that everything we do is much more than just selling a product or a service, no matter what company you're with. We are actually helping people transform their lives. We are community builders who really bring people, like-minded people together to go for a bigger cause than they would be able to go alone. You know, that's actually that's what we do. That's the beauty of our industry. And I think it's, as I said here, how do we turn our sales business? Everybody starts because of a product or a service they are intrigued by, but actually it's much more. We are really, let me turn this mobile off here, sorry. We are really a community-based business building amazing movements around the world of like-minded people who have the common goal of improving people's lives. It's massive, and that's why so many people join because of great products, but they stay in it because of the people and the relationships they build. And that brings me to my happiness project. In the year 2003, roughly 15 years ago, I was in a situation with my network marketing business, which was a 6-figure a month business that still turned kind of sideways. You know, it didn't go up, it didn't really fall down, but you know, if you don't have progress, it's not a too good thing. And that's what happened to me at this time. So we dive deep into, and we tried to look at things we usually looked away from. And the most important thing was, we learned most from those people, not the ones who succeeded. We looked at the ones who did not succeed from a financial perspective, who had small checks for years, but who still stayed around and were happy. And we thought, if we crack the code of what makes these people stick around, we will see many more benefits than just a good product or just income opportunity. And that's where the Happiness Circle happened on happinesscircle.net. That's where we found the 6 aspects. That's where we figured out the crystal balls versus the rubber balls, which was the relationship part, the health part, the personal growth part, which is so much more important. We call them the crystal balls, rather than running after the money or just talking about lifestyle or just pursuing a great career. We got that worked out, and I'm not going to cover more of that. You can find it on happinesscircle.net. But that result showed us what this is all really about. And it has impacted not just my business career, it has massively impacted my personal life, our family life, the relationship with my wonderful wife, with my kids, with my parents, with everybody around me. And this model has traveled the world in the past 15 years. It went to a numerous amount of countries, and it always came back to us. We never monetized on it. We just had it out there, and people wrote emails to us, and they called us, and they contacted us and said, thank you so much for that life-changing insight, inside and outside the industry. So wonderful project. It ended that I was invited from the Her Excellency, the Minister of Happiness in Dubai, to join the World Government Summit last year, where they had all the happiness experts from the world around. I was blessed to be there, and I sat back. I felt really, really good about that, and I thought, look, if you add extra value to people in network marketing, there's no limit. You will suddenly be invited by governments. You will be invited as top keynote speakers in various occasions, because it's all about adding value to people. And this has no borderlines, and this is not part of just network marketing. But network marketing is an amazing soil for becoming a person who can add value to other people. And that's what makes me so passionate about this amazing profession. So back to my presentation. I'm a guy that believes in simplicity. That's one of my major insights. And I'll show you in a second why this is so incredibly important. If we talk about the most named word or expression in network marketing, we probably will find out quickly that this is the word duplication. There is not a single network marketer in the world who hasn't been speaking about duplication. The problem is that most of the network marketing out there get duplication totally wrong. And it's not just the new networkers or the ones that are unexperienced. A lot of top leaders are getting duplication wrong, because they believe that duplication is similarity. I do something, and if it works, everybody else in my big organization's got to do exactly the same, and it will work for them as well. Guess what? That is total nonsense, because that's not the way our business works. And everybody doing the same thing, originating from one person or one small group of people, guess what's going to happen? No innovation, no autonomy, no new ideas, no new reinventing of things. If that would be in the case, somebody would have started duplication in terms of similarity 50 years ago, and we would still all work the same old way. But as you know, network marketing works so differently today out there. There are so many innovative young people who came from a social media site who taught us networkers how network marketing is working so much better and so much easier. So duplication is not similarity. You have to allow autonomy. You have to allow new ideas. Not everybody's got to do the same thing. Duplication is simplicity. anybody can do what works for that person, what works for him or her, but only as long as it's simple, it's going to duplicate. And then the next one comes and he tweaks it. He takes it his way. He kind of puts his own personality in. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to work again because it's simple. As long as you keep it simple, it will always work. So that actually is one of the first paradigm shift from complexity to simplicity. And actually there's two kinds of simplicity in our world. The first simplicity is the simplicity that you can compare with the situation where you started the business. You know that. Knowledge was very low, excitement was very high. You had to keep everything simple because you didn't know much. Guess what? It was a great time of business because your business worked just extremely well in that given time. But then the problem started. You got invited to trainings, you spent all these educational weekends, you got all that material, you listened to these doctors, and you started to become an expert. The fan you were, knowing little but being highly excited, turned you into somebody who became an expert. And guess what happened? You had a lot of weight on your shoulders, the excitement was gone, the fun was gone, things became complicated, and your business probably has slowed down. I'm not saying that we do not need education, but what I'm saying is we have to master complexity. With all the stuff we are learning every single day, we have to get rid of the weight, rid of the pressure on our shoulders, make things simple again, and turn them into something that is not called excitement, but what is called clarity. All ourselves, all the leaders, all people like Donna and myself, who are in the business for over 25 years, we have to master, or actually we probably have mastered complexity and brought everything we learned and everything we know back to simplicity. And it gave us total clarity so that we exactly know what we need to do. So mastering complexity is a very important task. And that's what Thomas Monson said. He said, I wouldn't give anything on simplicity of this side of complexity, but I would give my life on simplicity on the other side of complexity. So whenever you're in a situation where you feel that your network marketing business is now not fun, not easy, you feel kind of stuck, you feel kind of, it doesn't let you breathe, people are not excited because you're not excited, you gotta clean the house out. You know, you got to make sure that you just trash everything you do not need and almost start on a white piece of paper so that it's easy, simple, and fun again. That's the first paradigm shift. So don't duplicate what is given to you. Innovate, but keep it simple. That's what duplication really means. And if you do that right, duplication is going to work for you fantastically. And here's the key, right? I found that on the web, actually, which shows exactly what I was just talking about. Because without focusing and getting to clarity, you cannot lead, you cannot motivate, you cannot plan, and you will not be able to communicate well. And all these things we need being good network marketers and good ambassadors of our profession. Second thing, second paradigm shift, from information to inspiration. You know, when in the old days where there was no internet, not even a mobile phone, I can remember the times where we didn't have fax machine or mobile phones. We just appointed on landlines. You know, we had to make a phone appointment from home. And then when we wanted to meet up, we had to drive hundreds of miles or kilometers to get to an appointment, maybe to find out that nobody even showed up. Then we drove back. And it was pretty exhausting. You know, we had bugs on the windscreen at that time. Today is so incredibly easy to communicate, and it's so incredibly easy to share information. But you know, we get swamped with information. And here's something you need to understand. People are not hungering or waiting for you anymore that they can listen to what you have to share. You got to get a permission first. I can remember my granddad having maybe just one radio channel and not even owning a TV at home. He couldn't wait until it was 8 o'clock in the evening so he could sit in front of his radio and hear the news. You know, he didn't have access for 24 hours, but just that time on top of the hour where he heard a little bit of what was going on in the world. He was hungering for that information. And the rest of the day he had to read some newspapers, and that was it. But today, us being in this world out there, We have about 300,000 times as much information swamped on us than our grandparents had. And guess what we learned? We learned to protect ourselves from information. We reject information rather than attract information. And then there's you now with that amazing business opportunity. And guess what? Nobody's waiting for you to share that business opportunity. You got to be an inspiring person. You got to kind of unlock that person's interest so that you can place and share information. So don't be a source of information. Be a person of inspiration. Be inspiring. Be inspiring in a way that people say whether they spend 5 seconds with you, 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days, right? They need to turn back and say, this was just worth the time, and it made me a better person. It made me more intelligent. It made me more aware, whatever they say, but they got to find the time they spend with you worthwhile. And this is not going to happen when you just want to share information, because information is a commodity now. You know, it's available everywhere. So don't be that kind of presenter. Be a source of information people love to connect with because they feel you have something that will add value to their lives. The third one is similar. It's from education to experience. You know, these weekends, butts in seats, neon lights, speakers on stage, people taking notes. If you want to do that on a daily or weekly basis, I have bad news for you, because that's not the way this business works. I have seen young people building $1 million businesses in less than 2-3 years in our profession, just doing it online from the beach or from a beach lounge, from the back of a boat, from nice places in the world through social media. And the reason is because it's attractive. If you act in an attractive way, you will have more attention and more feedback, and again, more duplication than you'll have being the best teacher in the world. Education is totally overrated. And I'm going to get back into this when I talk about how to drive a powerful system in a few minutes. Yeah, but keep it for now. Education is overrated. Experience is totally underrated. So whenever people have a touch point with you and then spend time with you, make sure that you create an experience for them where they get goosebump moments and say, wow, this was just an amazing time, whether it was, again, a 5-second, 5-minute, 5-hour conversation or not. That's very important, from education to experience. The next thing, and that is what Donna and I actually have shown you already with the introduction in this call, from genealogy to culture. Don't see your cross lines or your cross-line leaders as competition. See them as a source for more information. See them as a source for somebody to exchange with, as a peer, but don't see it as a competition. And also don't see networkers from another company as your competition. See them as somebody who you might have a very open and honest discussion with, and it's going to make you both better. So if you create a culture around you of mutual respect and understanding, this is going to rise all boats. It's going to put you all on a different level. This marketplace for all of us, no matter what company you're with, is so incredibly huge. You don't need to fear competition. You just need to fear your own lack of skills. And if you fear somebody is going to take something away from you, whether you are a company owner or a top leader, guess what? Just get better. It's about attraction. When people move away from you as a person or from you as a company, you could do better. And then they're not going to walk away. But don't think this is competition. You're going to protect something. Look, in the old days, there were not too many ways on how to do this business. The upline knew everything. They could give you a guidance. That's the way it works. And if you just do the same, it's going to work for you as well. This is not valid anymore, because there's so many new opportunities coming up every single day on how you can succeed in this business, what tools you can use, what technology you can use. You can't figure that out yourself. And your upline doesn't know all these things either. So if you don't communicate openly to crosslines and to other people around you, guess what? You're not going to find out the best things. It's not that one person knows everything and teaches it down line and then they know everything. Today, a lot of people know something, and you can only find out what really works if you connect with these people and drive a culture of mutual respect and understanding. It's a very important one. Start with yourself, in your teams, with your cross lines, in your company, and then move outside your company and do it at event like the European Direct Selling Congress, or whether it's GoPro or wherever you meet all these networkers. Try to be open, give value, and you will receive even more value in return. Next one, product purpose. I've learned that as well. We are not just product sellers anymore. Also, the competition in terms of product became huge. People can Google your product right away. Guess what they're going to find? Exactly what they're looking for. If they want to find something negative about the product, they will find it. If they want to find something positive about your product, they will find it too. But if you communicate the purpose you have around the product and behind the product and how you can improve on people's lives, this whole thing is going to change. That's a game changer, because then they're going to buy into you, they're going to buy into your purpose, they resonate with it, and they become a happy partner for you. Very important one as well. Sixth one, IQ versus EQ, intelligence versus emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. You got to love people. You got to be a great, not intelligent, expert kind of people. You got to be somebody people resonate with. You have to have a high EQ in order to make this business work for you. It's not your education. It's not your IQ. It's your EQ, how you can deal with people and how you resonate with them and they resonate with you. That's what's going to make you attractive, and that's what's going to make you successful. So make sure that your EQ factor stays high and don't become an expert. Last one, from hunter to farmer. You know, I love Dubai. I just spent a great weekend with my wife in Dubai over my birthday. I just love the country and actually the city. But what I love most about it is that it's being built in a very hostile environment. You know, nobody would have thought that one of the greatest cities in the world can be built on sand with no sweet water, just salt water around it. And nobody would ever think that they would love to spend time in the desert, in the heat. But it changed. And Sheikh Al Maktoum's dad's vision was, let's build it and they will come. And this is exactly how the attitude you should have toward your network marketing business. You're not out there hunting anymore, talking to everybody who's not on the 3x3, because that's what we taught 20 years ago. It is actually, how attractive are you? And you have a lot of farming plays today on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. Treat this well. Create an amazing shop window about yourself with integrity and authenticity that people want to join you. You don't need to run out there and chase everybody. If you prepare the field well, guess what? Same like Dubai, they will come and they want to join you and they want to be with you. Be a good farmer. You do not have to be a hunter anymore. That is old school. Okay? So that was kind of the 7 paradigm shifts, which we've been working on diligently over the past few years. And I must tell you, there's no way back to the old way. You know, if you do not follow these 7 paradigm shifts and you are not on the new side of them, on the right side of them, if you still operate the old way because you've done that for 25 plus years, or because your upline who's in the business for 25 plus years, like myself, would tell you to do so, you're not going to get very far. You got to operate on that side of these paradigm shifts. Now, let me quickly introduce and use the last 10 minutes we have on something we have developed. We call it the map. This, you see a little nice picture of Switzerland. We also have some nice Switzerland pictures here in the boardroom. I'm not sure whether you can see those. So let me explain a little bit what the map is all about. The map consists of 3 areas that are very crucial for your business. It is the system you drive, it is the movement you create, and it's the brand you become as a person. Because that's the 3 components where you gotta get your things straight. If one of it is not functional, or you don't pay attention to it really well, the others are not going to work well either. So you got to make sure that this works well for you. What I'd like to do with you now for the last 10 minutes is to put you on a helicopter and take you on a ride, get you high up in the air and look down on the map, which consists of your system, your movement, and your brand from top down. Okay? So here's the system. The system is all about prospecting, socializing, and learning. And this consists again of 3 components that are really important. The first one is your processes and your DMO, your daily method of operation. And as I said earlier, because it's about duplication, which is not similarity but simplicity, you got to figure out effective, functional, and fun strategies and tools you use to get your DMOs in place and create a process that people can use too. And it's not important that they all use the same video or the same script or the same presentation. That's not what I mean. Strategies and tools, because that's tools. Strategies and tools are individual, but the process has to be simple and fun. And this has to be like a circle or like a funnel. Talk to your upline about the right process when it comes to prospecting, and you will see that they might be able to help you to get something together really wonderful. But you don't all need to use the same strategy or the same tools. That would not work. And if you look around to the successful people of your own company where you're involved in, the top leaders, there's some similarities, but they are definitely not all using exactly the same way and the same strategies and tools, but they all have a simple, duplicatable process. Okay? The second one that is the most important one when it comes to your business is your event structure, the socializing part. We call events everything where people interact. It's not just events, doesn't mean a big event like a convention or a boot camp or a Super Saturday. An event is everything where people interact. It can be a Facebook group, it can be a Zoom call, it can be virtual, it can be real, anything. And guess what? Whenever I look at an organization that struggles or where the leader gets stuck, the first thing I ask them is, show me your event structure. And then they say, what is that? I said, event structure means everything where people interact. What is going on in your entire organization? Every minute, every hour, every day, every week, and every month. What is the events you have, you know? And an event structure always works bottom up. There's a lot of small events that should happen every hour of the day in your organization when you are a top leader. It's the one-on-ones, it's the coffee shop meetings, it's the Zoom calls, it's the Skype calls, it's the Facebook groups where people interact, it's the messengers where they do one-on-ones or with little groups, all these kind of things. Business opportunity meetings. And that's the foundation. Only if that foundation, if that pipeline is really filled, all the other events will work really, really well. That's very important that you understand that, and everything builds up. So make sure you get and I can do a 5-hour training just on event structure, right? I can't do it right now, but I'm just telling you that event structure is utmost important. It's much more important than training and education. Much more important. And if you want to drive your business to the next level, get your event structure up, create amazing experience with all the people involved, and get your teaching education down. Reduce education to the max. That's very, very, very important, okay? So that is something you need to look at. That's the system part. Let's talk about the movement part. I've seen a lot of leaders who actually form a team, and then they give that team a name. And the worst thing is when they give the team a name, which is their own name. Like, for example, in my case, it would be Team Sven or Team Donna, right? Guess what's going to happen? The strong people in this team will say, well, why should I do Team Donna? I do Team Alexander, or I do Team Cheryl. You need to find a purpose. You need to find a big purpose, a common goal where people resonate with. Let me give you a positive example. I called my own team many years ago People Builders. That was it. And it stood for our mission that we would build people up, that we would provide them a better life. I know a huge movement doing tens of millions a month in South Europe. They call themselves Unstoppable. And they have that sign, Unstoppable. And they are unstoppable. And everybody wants to be unstoppable. There's so many different ways on how you can call your movement. What is the difference between a team and a movement? The difference between a team and a movement is a team that just thrives, that just got it right. So here's the 3 things you got to get right when you want your team to thrive and turn into a movement. The first thing is you have to have an amazing philosophy people buy into that's bigger than yourself, okay, and your personal interest. So never call your team, give it your name, give ownership. Second, that team, next to everything else the company provides anyways, has to offer added value to its members. If you just call a team because you think it's great to have a team and you just have a name, but you don't add added value, you will just confuse people and you will become political and you will become exclusive. But you have to be inclusive, and you can only become inclusive if you add extra value to what the company or the upline or anybody else does anyway. And the third thing is you have to have an amazing inner circle. It's not about you, it's about them. That's so important. You got to give ownership to your key people. You got to give spotlight on your key people so they have decision moments where they can help you to make this movement a great movement. It's not about you, the founder of the movement. It's not about you, the one that had the idea. It's the people you bring onto your inner circle table who do it together. Like as if you would run your own company as a CEO. If you decide everything, you have weak people around you. If you give your team autonomy, you will have an amazing company. Same with the movement. The third thing is the you part, about you, your brand. Today, you got to be a brand. And a brand means, in our industry, you have to be an external, marketable representation of yourself. Guess what? People stalk you. And you can have them stalk you in a positive way so that you attract them, or you can reject them. Be very cautious about how you present yourself on social media, how you build this amazing brand of yourself in an authentic way. In our company, we've developed the commandments for social media, how to drive good brands. There's courses about it. We even help our own leaders to brand themselves well on social media. We teach them exactly how to post, what to post. There's leaders who are very good at that. We have 1 week social media profile cleanup sessions, because there's so much crap what people post, especially in our business, and then they wonder why nobody joins their team. Don't forget, people buy people, and it is so extremely important that you clean up your own brand. And here's the thing, we are getting to the end, Donna. You need to understand that your system and your movement is not about you, it's about them. And your identity, being a great role model to everybody, that's about you. And if these two things really play well together, you will have an amazing business. You got to figure out what's about them, and you got to figure out what part is about you. I've seen a lot of people who believe it's all about them and not about me. They are in the background, but they are not the leader by example. And then I've seen a lot of ego people who think it's all about them. And guess what? Nobody's going to follow them, only the weak ones. And that's also not the best one. You need to find the right balance between putting you in the spotlight and giving a lot of attention to your team and your leaders. And as I said before, the common ground is found in a common mission to enhance people's lives through an amazing opportunity and in the mutual respect for each other, as well as the willingness to learn from another. And I hope that I can contribute a little bit with my speech to that. That's exactly what I talked about, as you can recall, Donna, in Amsterdam. Here's again the happiness circle that actually triggered everything, that made my life change, that gave me so much more understanding about our profession. And I was happy to pay it forward to you today. And I hope the recording went well. And thank you very much for your attention. Back to you, Donna.
Thank you so much, Sven. Wow, this has been the message of the moment, I have to say, because Sven, when you and I both started this profession, there was really no visibility. Like if we did a meeting at a hotel, we might know about another company if they were training at the same hotel. But now all those walls are down. Yeah. And it's transparency out there, and we need to use this to our benefit. And I love how we come together. Peter Mork, the late founder of my company, used to say, I don't care about competition because we just have to just keep getting better. We have, he was Norwegian. There's something about the Europeans I love where they just want to be the best. And, I think my marriage is a very interesting example. I met my husband and Thomas Tinlin from the profession many, many years ago. And we fell in love in Dubai. Can you believe that? It's one of our favorite cities as well.
Right.
And we've been yeah, we've been together 8 years, married for 3 years, and people will say, because he's a top leader in another network marketing company,
Right.
and people will just look at us like, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, it's easy to do that. He has his business, I have my business, we respect each other's business. I mean, has an attorney ever had a husband attorney, you know, a husband and wife attorney that worked for different firms, or doctors that worked for different hospitals? And I think if we can remove that stigma of all these things you've talked about, it will definitely unite this profession in every area globally. Our owners, our executives, our field leaders like us, and of course now you're an executive and owner as well. So
Yeah.
that is awesome, and it's great to see leaders with such great network marketing experience.
Yeah, right. You know, we need an open source. We call it the open source mentality. You got to be open source. You got to give your code and the code you crack to the others, because you just got to lift yourself up as well. And
Yes,
you know, we get the most out of the reputation we have as people. And if we are known out there, not just by our own people, but by everybody else, that we are somebody who wants to add value and are serious about everyone's success, so much is going to come back to us, you know.
yes.
And that's the mentality I have developed over the years. I'm very grateful that I had these insights. I was different when I was young as well. I was like, oh, God, no, I got to be faster and better, first time, first rank, first highest rank. I've had all that, but now with being far over 50 years old, guess what? You get more relaxed and you understand the bigger picture of everything. And hopefully when all these young people are watching right now, they get something out of it and they get more relaxed, because there's so much space. And I believe the future of network marketing on the other side of the paradigm shifts has just started. It's going to be an amazing future for all of us, because everything that technology enables us to do now has been made for us network marketers. So much easier than in the old days, but you got to do it right. You got to be a great person.
Yes, elevate this profession now for the generations to come.
Exactly.
So Sven and I planned this. We're going to show you where we are. I'm in Sweden and Sven is in Switzerland, so you've got to see our views. It is mid-June. We have the midnight sun. It's Thursday evening here, and a little cloudy day, but we have got the midnight sun, the view over the water in Gothenburg. So beautiful. So Sven, your turn.
Okay, let me see whether I can match that. Here, look around. This is beautiful Switzerland.
Yes.
The mountains, the blue skies. Yeah, we are in the same time zones. I'm just about 1,000 kilometers more south than you, Donna. Enjoy the midnight sun. It's amazing in June in Sweden. I love it. I spent a lot of time in Sweden building huge businesses there in Stockholm, Gothenburg. It's beautiful. So enjoy your time there. It's much better to be there than back in Scottsdale, because that's definitely too hot right now.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Association for Network Marketing Professionals, this is a nonprofit global community for all networkers, all owners, all executives to come together. Thank you so much for this wonderful training, Sven. Appreciate your time so much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Really, world. Thanks, Donna. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.